That was really impressive last week, I thought. Texas Tech at Arkansas with their win. TCU at Texas Tech. What do you think about this one?
I like Texas Tech to pull off the upset here. You look at this TCU team. The losses are piling up with the defensive starters, and the yards are starting to pile up as well. Gave up 500 yards of offense to SMU last week.
I like your call, but you're wrong. TCU wins it. You ever heard of Trayvon Boykin?
I've heard of that guy.
He's warming up, getting better every week. TCU wins
Inside the Drive, presented by DirecTV. Arkansas head coach Brett Bielema doesn't shy away from making bold statements in support of his teams and his brand of football, but other coaches have taken notice, including Cliff Kingsbury, who spoke on the topic after his Red Raiders beat the Razorbacks last Saturday.
That's a program that prides themselves on being physical, and at the Texas High School Coaches Convention this summer, he stood up and said, if you don't play with a fullback, we'll kick your ass. If you throw it 70 times a game, we'll kick your ass. And he just got his kicked twice in a row, and probably next week by A&M as well. So that did feel good.
So now Kevin Sumlin, whose Aggies play Arkansas in Fayetteville on Saturday, and who coached alongside Kingsbury at A&M and at Houston, was asked about the feud earlier this week.
What's going on between those two guys is going on between those two guys. And so that's okay. I'll just be at the Texas High School Football Coaches Association deal this year. Maybe I'll referee. How about that?
Bielema's a good guy, but he really has put his foot into his mouth, hadn't he, on more than one occasion?
Absolutely. And someone's like, hey, my name is Paul, and then that's up to y'all. I don't care. Just stay out of that stuff. Just stay out of it. But you know what? I think some of the young kids do like this stuff, the back and forth. They like seeing their coaches respond.
We like this stuff for sure. It gives us something to laugh at and talk about. But his feelings really looked hurt. He looked like he really had his feelings involved.
Definitely into it. He'll be into it when TCU comes to town this week as well. See you tomorrow, everyone.
No trash-talking a coach who dresses better than George Clooney. You've got a trash-talking battle last week between Cliff Kingsbury of Texas Tech and Brett Bielema of Arkansas. Kingsbury won the game. He won the trash talk. That's just not pretty for an SEC program.
Texas A&M and Arkansas in Arlington, Cowboys Stadium. The wrecking crew is alive. Myles Garrett, Deshaun Hall. I know the Hawks haven't allowed a sack. They haven't seen these two dudes coming off the edge. Arkansas hasn't run the ball enough. They've been throwing more than they've run. They're going to have to run right at those pass rushers and hold the ball if they have a chance against the Aggies. 2 weeks, Auburn goes from number 6 to unranked and maybe the comeback trail today, but they're not the only team in the SEC West that's taken some pratfalls and not met expectations today at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. Arkansas goes in against Texas A&M. Arkansas's lost 2 straight. The Hogs have been flat stuck in the mud. Now, if you believe Cliff Kingsbury, Texas Tech coach who beat Arkansas last week, they're headed for another spit roast. Are the Razorbacks now as they get ready to take on Texas A&M? He expects them to get their backsides kicked one more time. Look, the Razorbacks, look at the numbers. They can move the ball, but they've been awful in the red zone. Among the worst teams in the country in both red zone efficiency and goal-to-go efficiency. Brett Bielema worked a lot this week in practice on the red zone and also healing the psyche of his wounded team. Battered, bruised, injured, and lacking confidence. Head coach of the Razorbacks with Holly Rowe.
Well, given the back and forth with you and Coach Kingsbury of Texas Tech this week, you're facing another team, his former boss, that's a very similar style. So what are the biggest adjustments that your team has to make this week?
Well, I think one of the great things we said on Sunday was obviously we got to play an up-tempo defensively that couldn't ask for any better preparation for this game. Obviously a little bit different. Kevin believes in running the football. They average almost 250 yards of rushing a game, so we got to be lined up for that. But hopefully there is good carryover.
We had Texas A&M a couple weeks ago, and I was so impressed with their defensive front, their defensive end. So how do you handle the pressure they've been able to put on teams?
Well, they're both good ones. They lead the SEC in sacks, and they're very productive. I think what we have to do is obviously line up some of our big guys on them, try to play a little bit of tempo football the way we like to play it, and hopefully execute and make good things happen.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Holly, Brett, thank you very much. Now, Arkansas built its entire identity on running, but they've lost that identity. Their rushing attempts are down, passes are up. Only 36% of their offense coming from the running game. That is down 18% from last year. Wow. They do have some receivers hurt, and they've got a veteran quarterback. But this is a team who is in search of an identity. We've spent a whole lot of time this morning on negative town, Auburn, Arkansas.
Yeah.
What about one of the positive stories? Texas A&M looks like a legitimate contender.
I like the Aggies. I picked them earlier in the season to go be one of the teams in the 4th-team playoff, and I think that Coach Sumlin now has tweaked his offense a little bit. He's running the ball more now with Trey Carson. He's a big back. They can run in between the tackles. He's using tight ends sometimes too. And don't be surprised if you just see him line up with 2 wideouts, max protect, and let the wideouts go to work. So I think they're trying to control the clock more, which is what they're going to do today against Arkansas. They don't have to keep rushing and run a hurry-up offense. They can be very versatile. So I like that with some of this group so far.
You got to pick? You got A&M?
I picked them to be the 4th. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to have you take over for Bear. You get all your picks right. We got to get you in there for Bear. One thing that I think Tom Rinaldi needs to do is go down to College Station. Got a great story for him. Brandon Williams, a former Oklahoma running back who transferred to Texas A&M to become a running back. Well, now they asked him after spring to move to corner in John Chavis' new defense, and he's starting, and he's providing leadership for this team, which has been huge to allow them to turn loose those defensive ends. Brandon Williams, as I said, he is a guy that has great athletic ability and long arms, a great fit, and probably has a future in the NFL. Look at that play right there in man coverage. When you can play man, it frees up the defensive ends, and everybody got excited about Jadeveon Clowney in the SEC. If you haven't seen 15 down in College Station, you might want to watch him. This guy is a force. Less than 3 seconds he's in. This is what I love. This is where I think he's just a football player. He can rush the quarterback, but he really likes to close in and hit people. I mean, and John Chavis, his scheme has been perfect because of the way he uses Hall on one side and Garrett on the other. They get you into obvious passing situations. You better have a quarterback draw or a screen, or you better get the ball out of your hands quickly. Chavis, in fact, has said, he's been in the SEC for 100 years. He said, these 2 defensive ends are the best I've ever coached on one team. Think about that. Yeah. Tennessee and LSU.
That's crazy.
So I think this game's a lot closer than people are giving Arkansas credit, but at the end, I just think that defense is too good.
So you got
A&M.
Yeah.
Aggies.
Just,
all right. Making sure. You know what's interesting is we fell in love with A&M last year early in the season. I want to see them physically tested. Yeah. I know those guys can rush the passer.
Yeah.
I know that. Miles Garrett
game you'll find
struggled against the run.
Yeah.
This game last year against Arkansas, they got hit in the mouth a lot. Mm-hmm. They probably should have lost the game.
Yeah.
This is a big test for me today.
I
want to find out about A&M's front and how physical they are, because we know Arkansas is going to run the football. I think A&M is going to win the game because I think Arkansas is a mess right now. But the biggest difference between this Arkansas team and a year ago, they had a great defense. Right. Phylon, Flowers, those guys up front, and they kept giving the ball back to the offense so they could keep hitting you and keep wearing you down. They're not getting as many stops, and they're not able to enforce that physicality. But A&M,
and they missed Jonathan Williams. Alex Collins is back.
Yeah.
J-Dub
needs
was
a little
a
help.
beast.
But let's see today what A&M can do physically.
And Williams was a leader on the team, too, so they've lost a little bit of their leadership. I mentioned the red zone struggles. In the red zone running attempts, down about a yard per attempt from last year. I know it's a small sample size.
They're running wherever and whenever they want.
This is Arkansas football. We're going to line up and play physically and mentally tougher than our opponent.
Arkansas continues to be powerless to stop Texas Tech.
An enormous win for Cliff Kingsbury.
That's a program that prides themselves on being physical. And at the Texas High School Coaches Convention this summer, he stood up and said, if you don't play with a fullback, we'll kick your ass. If you throw it 70 times a game, we'll kick your ass. And he just got his ass kicked twice in a row, and probably next week by A&M as well. So that did feel good.
If that was an ass kicker, I'd love to see what last year was. As a coach that's been in it for 10 years, I'd know better than to worry about somebody that's been around for a couple that are 500, so we'll just go forward.
It definitely rubbed me the wrong way. He's a prideful guy, and he says what's on his mind, but it just hadn't worked out for him.
If that makes him feel better, God bless him. I'm happy he got the vent, and hopefully he feels a lot better.
I've moved on from it, you know. What was said, and we're getting ready for TCU.
Hey, we'll have TCU today, but nothing like a good old-fashioned
That's awesome for college football.
Yeah, talk that talk, Coach
number one,
talk that talk.
Can we set them up in a bowl game? Can we get them round 2?
That'd be sweet.
That would be great.
Set them up in a cage match.
No, that would not be great. That would not be good for your boy.
Mismatch, yeah.
I know Cliff's a competitive guy. I just think he crossed the line post-game. He kind of started it with his comments. That's Coach Corso. He broke every book in the rule, every rule in the book, as far as how coaches treat each other. You might feel that way and talk privately about that, but you don't go to a press conference and You see Joe Paterno doing that? I mean, you see coaches do that?
Coach Hansom's a new breed. He's the new model.
You like that?
Twitter? I don't. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, okay.
I'm different, but I kind of enjoy it. You know, we always want coaches to speak their mind, and we always want them to say something like that. I enjoyed hearing it. I think, last year Bielema got the last word, and he got to make comments. Well, you don't make comments at a coaches convention like that either. Then
why not?
When you win,
when you lose, you say little, and when you win, you say less. Right, LC?
Coach Corso.
Yes.
There you go.
He's sitting right over here.
Wisdom.
Yes.
I didn't have a problem with it. No, sir.
I'm not surprised.
He earned that. You know. I mean, when you look at Coach Bielema and the things he said a couple of weeks before about Ohio State's schedule, and he goes out and he loses to Toledo. He makes the comment at the high school convention, and he loses to Coach Handsome. I think, maybe you should do less talking and more coaching, get your guys ready.
Well, that could go for both of them, just to be frank about it. I really agree with what you said. We want these guys to speak their minds.
Right.
I'm not going to kill them when they do.
I love it.
There you go.
We'll make fun of them, but we're not going to kill them for it.
Well, they're going to make fun of us, too.
Yeah,
It's okay.
That's right. They complain about us plenty.
Absolutely.
From the SEC East to the SEC West, Cowboys Stadium, Texas A&M, and Reeling, Arkansas.
I got the Aggies by 17 points. I don't know what's going on with Arkansas right now, but they can't get it together. I have Texas A&M by 17.
Arkansas. I have a lot of clients that live in Arkansas.
There you go. You can't beat that.
I can't beat it.
Not so fast. Again, Texas A&M balance off. They win by safety.
By safety.
Safety.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
I got you covered there.
Wow.
This is a game where everybody's just piling on, telling Arkansas how bad they are. Their season's over. They're going to play very inspired. They'll put forth their best effort, but I just think that eventually A&M finds a way. They'll make the plays late, win the game.
For myself, Dalen Mack. It's big boy football time now. He's made a lot of tremendous plays for Texas A&M up until this point, but now it's the middle of the line of scrimmage, and Arkansas is going to be coming downhill. He has to get busy defending the run.
Greg, who's got you amped up today, week 4?
I'm going to keep it in that Texas A&M Arkansas game, and I'm going to look just outside of where Dalen Mack's going to be lining up. I'm looking at Myles Garrett taking on the left tackle of the Razorbacks, Denver Kirkland. Denver Kirkland and the Razorbacks have yet to allow a sack. But you look at Myles Garrett, he leads the country with 5.5. Denver Kirkland has not impressed me so far. A little bit slow, looks like more of a guard to me than a tackle. So that's a big matchup for the Aggies and the Razorbacks today that we can definitely keep an ISO on.
That's okay. Hey, you put him in the middle of the line of scrimmage. He's making plays, but now it is big boy football. Arkansas has the type of run game that challenge you as a 3 technique and a nose tackle in a defensive scheme. He has a low center of gravity, and when you have guys that can hog the middle of the line of scrimmage, that really can put a dent in the run game. I like this kid. He's been playing very well, but he's still coming along.
He's got a great first step, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
What other impact defenders have gotten your attention?
Can we just talk about the defensive ends for A&M?
Yeah, they kind of stand out.
They kind of stand out. And we like talking about freaks on this show. Well, both of these dudes are freaks. So in a couple of weeks when we're at A&M, I'm going to have a really tough decision who we're picking in that game.
That's called pick your poison. Run right, you run into a beast. Run left, you run into an animal. Might as well just QB sneak it every time, Spears.
Garrett and Hall, they're 1 and 2 in sacks in the conference, 5.5 and 4 sacks respectively. So nice of Jerry Jones to let the Hogs and the Ags play at his palace. The contract for Arkansas and Texas A&M in place until 2024 to keep it in Dallas. Kevin Sumlin is ready.
Our message has been, even when you walk out on the field, it's not about the opponent. In big, bold letters, it says, last thing you see, it's about us.
Come on, Donnie. Cut it loose today. How about some energy? Let's go.
The reality of it is, the more games you win, the bigger the game is the next week. There aren't big games unless you're continuing to win.
You gonna be all right? Okay. I want you to go back up to Arlington, lock up on me again, communicate the short kick. Ball security.
We try to stay focused on what's important this week and what's important even today.
What's taking it so long? Good. 3rd down. Hey, what are you thinking here, David? Sack.
what we're looking for is not to play the perfect game, but to be better than we were last week and eliminate our own mistakes. If we do that, we'll be all right.
Kevin Sumlin is 3-0 against Arkansas since he took the Texas A&M job. And in the past year and 2 months, our players on SEC Nation are undefeated too. Undefeated when it comes to strong opinion. And they have abandoned Paul and me yet again to go players only. Marcus, let's start with this. The key to the Hogs against the Aggies.
Well, welcome to the Players Lounge with my two favorite people. Look, the key for Arkansas is to simply get back to what they do best, and that's running the football in between the tackles. You look here, and this O-line is comfortable. This is their area. You have 2 lanes there that's the size to drive a bus through. This is who Arkansas is. And then when you get these guys going downhill, they're not exposed athletically, and Alex Collins is a very capable running back. I think Arkansas is at their best in between the tackles at the line of scrimmage. And if they don't get back to this, Texas A&M may hang 60.
They might. You're right. Well, let's talk about the guys they're going to be blocking, because let's be honest, they're not wearing Texas Tech jerseys today. It's Texas A&M, and they got some studs now. Look at some of the guys they have up front. Let's start with Dalen Mack, your boy, Spears, your Man Crush Monday when you tweet on Monday. Look at the get-off. 1.9 in the backfield. That's at 310 pounds. He can get through it. And look, 3rd and 8. Look at the isolation they get Myles Garrett into right here on the ET, where he's coming and knocking off the tackle. He forces the early throw by Mike Bercovici, short of the sticks. You look at the rally by the Aggies. We didn't see that tackling. If you miss one, your buddy's coming right behind. And then the unsung heroes. Alonzo Williams right here. Butting.
That's football.
Nudging. Get off me.
That's football. That's playing the run right there.
I love seeing that. This is where they've struggled, though, and these are the sets they're going to see against Arkansas. You look 5-on-5. They have numbers. All they have to do is play it correctly. You look, he gets lost inside. All of a sudden, skeet to the outside. It's a wrap. And if you let Alex Collins in Arkansas exploit you with some of the outside plays that they're going to hit, because they're going to start inside. If you lose track, they could easily explode for a lot of points.
Guys, those are great points. But the biggest thing to me in this game is, can Arkansas actually cover? Because last week they could not cover number 2 or number 3 in the slot because they could not match up with speed. Now my question, Texas A&M is going to do that this week. My question is Arkansas going to go nickel, going to go dime, 4 or 5 DBs? What are they going to do in this game to find a way to cover a few of these
schematically? They have
receivers.
They have to figure out how to help this secondary. But to me, the best way to help this secondary is to keep the offense off the field as long as possible, and that's what they were able to do last year. That's why they had so many games go to the 4th quarter, because they were able to dominate the line of scrimmage offensively and keep those prolific offenses off the field.
Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium. Texas A&M 3-0 against Arkansas. You know the struggles with Arkansas, and they're 2-12 in games against ranked opponents under Brett Bielema.
A&M goes 4 or 5 receivers. They put Arkansas's players in space, and they win because they're more athletic with their skill position.
I think Arkansas looked like a better football team today, but that won't be good enough against Kevin Sumlin and A&M. Just too vaunted. And this defensive line for A&M, I'm finally glad I get a chance to see them play against a physical running team.
Texas Tech gave Texas A&M the blueprint and the recipe. Texas A&M gets it done in Arlington. I think they take it to them pretty good.
Being 1-2, believe me. Neither are the Arkansas fans. So the emphasis has been laid out for you. Arkansas won the toss. They want the football. So JoJo Robinson and Raleigh Williams are back deep. Taylor Bertolette will kick it off, and we'll be underway in Arlington. And this one will go out of the back of the end zone.
Garrett is most effective right here.
On 3rd down and 8, they pick him up. Allen scrambles out of the pocket. He's going to run with it. He's got a first down and more. Nice scramble out to the 44-yard line.
Well, this is the strategy. How do you slow down a speed rusher? Here he is. They got a tight end and a back that are both going to get a chip on him to help the tackle. Boom, boom. That's what you do to slow down a great pass rusher. A real challenge for this Arkansas defense.
You saw that quick start under Kevin Sumlin on that graphic. They have been great to open up first quarters and opening drives. And He'll get the call, trying to bounce it off tackle. Does. Nice move in the open field and a first down. A run of about 12. Here's a quick throw. Wide receiver screen. JoJo Robinson. One of the guys we said would have to step up. Did there for a first down.
Better than they've done in the last few years.
Nice play fake. Allen steps up in the pocket. He's going to take off again. He had a 17-yard scramble earlier. He's got another one that's longer or very close to being the same. Tight end on the move now. Sets up behind Allen. Brandon down the middle. What a throw. Close to a first down at Drew Morgan. He might have it with forward progress.
Tight ends are big targets in the red zone.
3rd and 3. Play action. Allen throws. Got it. And it's Morgan. Touchdown. With maybe one of the most exciting freshmen in the country, Christian Kirk caps off a 97-yard drive in 4 plays. Even ball game in Arlington. His team at the 25-yard line to start off. And it's Alex Collins. Big hole up the middle. He's picked up about 14 before they can track him down. Brandon Allen in the gun here now on 2nd down and 8. Throws a slant again. Perfect throw to JoJo Robinson. First down Arkansas. Riley Williams the tailback in this instance. And he gets peppered. Well, he bounced off. And the kid that played about 20 miles from here gets positive yardage. I thought he was dead in the water, and he picked up about 5.
Otaro Alaka had him dead to rights in the backfield. Just was not able to wrap up the young back. Watch 42 come unblocked. Gets a good hit, but not able to wrap his arms. And Raleigh Williams turns it into a positive game. But they are really running straight ahead at this A&M defense.
Boy, Myles Garrett in a track stance and a stunt up front. Here comes the pressure. The throw's complete again, though, down the middle. And a good job holding those 2 defensive ends from getting to the quarterback. 2nd down and goal at the 2. Allen wanted to keep this one himself, and he got swallowed up by Jeremiah Ledbetter. Brandon Allen under center. Bootleg, got a nice block by his tailback. Throws on the run, and he's right back to completing passes again. Good throw to Morgan. Allen getting some pressure right here. Throws on the run, and it's almost intercepted.
Actually, it was an excellent rush by Jeremiah Ledbetter. Now, that was a tough play.
Yeah.
Got one hand on it, knocked it away.
Drew Kaiser will punt. You look behind him. Down on the other end is DJ Dean for Arkansas. He's got a back pedal to the 29. Got around the first 2. Dean, he might take it if he can beat the punter. He won't, but Arkansas's got great field position. Oh, that's going to end the half. Nice play fake. Allen in trouble again. This time got away momentarily, but not the second wave.
Jermaine Ifedi, number 74, watch the right tackle kind of get knocked back into the quarterback. And Kyle Allen gets hit by his own guy and then kind of got disoriented and couldn't get rid of the football. Good pass rush collapsing the pocket by Arkansas. In that first half, they had excellent run-pass balance. The holding penalties was the biggest problem for them.
Here's some nice running by Alex Collins again.
Possess the football. It's kind of old-school football.
Williams again follows his fullback, and now he's into the second wave down to the 35-yard line. Brandon Williams had to slow him down, but he got 19.
Well, this is power blocking. They put the tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle, in the backfield. He was the lead blocker on the edge. Got the block on Donovan Wilson. And again, they are running in between the tackles. They're not trying to go outside. They are attacking the heart of the A&M defense with their running game.
19-yard pickup on that last one. First down at the 35. They fake it to him. Allen steps up, throws, and caught. Drew Morgan. Morgan down the sideline. A bad landing out of bounds, but he's got it first and goal. Collins spins again, heading to the end zone. Touchdown. They all All-SEC running back spins and heads to the corner of the end zone. 14-13, Arkansas. He's going to go in motion here on first down. They give it to him again on that little forward flip, and this time the Razorbacks do a nice job to contain him. Only 2 yards. Up the place, hoping for a stop on 3rd and 5. Here comes pressure on the blitz. Wide open. Drew Morgan again. Morgan on the cutback. Spins his way inside the 20. What a run after catch.
Here he is right here as he runs a crossing route. Watch his man trip and stumble. And that enabled Morgan to get separation. There's the stumble by Donovan Wilson. Check that, not Donovan Wilson. That was Nick Harvey, number 8, that was in coverage. Stumbled. And this guy continues to make big plays in the passing game.
Williams, the tailback. Here he goes, a freshman trying to get to the end zone and got to the 6. Williams, straight ahead, touchdown. The first of what may be many for Williams for the Razorbacks.
Now this is just power football. Arkansas running between the tackles the whole night. Short splits, big bodies, and a good push, and then a hard running back behind him. This is vintage Arkansas running football.
So it looks like run all the way. They're not letting him pass. This time fakes it to Kirk and then gets drilled. Allen is going to go down. Great pressure by the Razorbacks up front. In tight on the left side. It's a run all the way, and Collins pops it outside, and Alex Collins, 12 yards and a first down. First down at the 20. Draw play. Alex Collins. Collins heading to the left side, got a block, got the corner, got about 13 here against this Aggie defense. And here he comes again. Again, he cuts it outside on his own. To the edge, close to the first down. 9 more yards for Collins. So the Razorbacks come back out after coming over to have a word with the coaches. Bertolette just standing by himself that whole timeout. Senior grad student out of Reading, Pennsylvania, to win the game for Texas A&M from 38. And he missed it. Wide right.
We're going to have one coin toss. The winner of the coin toss will choose offense, defense, or the end of the field that they want to play on. Okay? Each team will have one timeout. And each team still has one challenge left. Got it? We're going to flip the same coin. SEC logo is heads. The SEC member institution schools, pinwheel is tails. Texas A&M, you're the visiting team. I want you to call it. Tails. He's calling tails. It's heads.
Play defense.
You want to play defense. What end of the field you want to play on? Play on that end. Okay, turn your back. Arkansas won the toss. They elect to play defense. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line from that end zone.
Allen going to go for all of it right here. Got it! Kirk, touchdown! ...20-yard strike, and again it's number 3 that strikes.
They're working on Henry Tolliver.
Allen will work from the gun.
Watch the crossing route.
Allen fires. Knocked down. It's over.
Of how our guys just kept playing. You know, we got to stop when we need to get it. Got a timeout, the turnover, you know, to get all that. Taylor's been having a great year to miss that thing and come back. You know, it took a team to win a game like that, and hopefully we'll learn from this and get better next week.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, Howard.
Aggies are 4-0. The Razorbacks are very disappointed, 1-3, but what a thrilling game in overtime. 28-21 is the final. For Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our entire ESPN crew, Brad Nessler saying so long from Arlington. College football scoreboard with that 9, and then it's USC Arizona State.